Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is still Monday. It is April 10th. It's almost 4 in the afternoon now. And I just kind of want to explain to you what's going on. We're going to walk through here. I'm already down close to going into the woods, okay? But from here, coming out of the woods out, when Danny comes with his load of gravel, I'm going to have him start right there and just hit the tracks and go as far as he can with that gravel. So I'm going to show you. Now this one isn't done yet. He'd already dumped one load here. He's up now getting a second load to put in here, and then he's going to bring his bobcat in, and he's going to be spreading this through this area. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. All right. So this gravel here that you see all through here, and he's going to be getting another load, is going to be spread down through here in this area. I thought this might be a more difficult area for Danny to get to, so I wanted to make sure that we got some stone in this area. So he'll grab his bobcat after he brings the next load back, and he will hit this area. So we're gonna walk, and I'm going to show you what he got accomplished, and we're going to go all the way to the top. So it's going to be a longer video because I'm walking. So it's going to take a minute to get out of here. So because at the wood line, from the wood line back to my camper is 2/10 of a mile. So from where we just started walking to walk all the way out is another 6/10 of a mile. But so he's been today hitting highlight spots, spots that need. I knew she was going to go down here and get a drink. I knew she was thirsty. Good girl, good girl. I've been coming back and forth on the four-wheeler to see what kind of progress he was making, and so she's been with me, of course, the whole time. And so obviously this part here, this stretch, if you guys remember, last August, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, July, August of last year, this part of the road was the worst part of the road, and it ends up being 2/10 of a mile up to the spring box, and we ended up having 4 loads of gravel put in this area. Okay, so this section of the road is in great shape. Really happy with this section of the road. It's held up very, very well. We've had no issues, and he put it in here heavy, and then my neighbor came in with his box blade and spread everything out, so that made a huge difference in that time frame with that as well. But so this 2/10 of a mile stretch, which is like it's basically done, there's nothing we're going to be adding onto it right now. That alone was 4 truckloads, so 100 tons of gravel, okay? But we did full road coverage on here just because it was such a mess, and that's why we ended up going so heavy in this area. So we are going to keep going here. So at some point we may see him backing the truck up to come back in and dump that next load. So we may pass him, because he was, when I had gone back to the camper to get the camera, he was going back up on top to get the rest of the gravel loaded onto his truck. Underneath that gravel is a lot of that crush and run, because if you guys remember, initially I was going to have the shipping container sit on top, and then you guys gave me the great advice, and I do appreciate it, saying somebody could just roll up and steal the whole thing. And I wasn't thinking about that, and so it was a good point, and obviously I can't watch it, so we eventually had the shipping container brought back into the property. So that's that took care of that problem. But we still had all that crush and run up on top, not utilizing it. So if you remember, I was digging some of that up as well, and using that in the road before. And so, you know, now we've obviously switched gears, and we have gone with the you know, the larger stone. And so right up to the spring box here is where this started last year. And so as you can see, the road in this part is really, really good. So then we had, obviously this part here is not done. So actually what I want to have Danny do when he comes, I'd like to have him hit this area as well. You know, to get some stone in here to get us started in this particular area. Farther up here was a little stretch where we had him put some more gravel because it was another really wet area. You can see some standing water still in here, but the road is really solid. So it's in really good shape. And so when Danny gets here by Thursday, today's Monday, you know, it's a couple more days for everything to dry out that much more. This little stretch up here, not right here obviously, but up here was another area where we had had a little bit of stone put in. And so we're almost coming up to where everything has been done. So just bear with me. And but yeah, you can see the stone here was brought. This is what we had in here as well. And that only went so far because that was the last of the stone that we had for that particular time. And that was part of the 4 loads. Okay. Now, if you guys remember up here in this spot, basically starting here, this whole area was very, very wet. And so he has been working, and you can see the gravel in the road here on this side especially. He's got it over on this side of the road as well. He's fixed this part of the road. So now we have a good solid base of stone in this part of the road. So that was one of the really, really weak spots. And I'll turn around here and I'll show you that again. So went up through here and up around the turn. So a lot of stone went in there. This area here has no stone on it yet. Obviously you can see it's held up pretty well here. I still would like to have Danny come in and put more stone in this area as well. Now, like I said, I don't know how far we are going to get with 2 loads of gravel. Like I said, I'm going to have him, the first load is going to go into the upper meadow, and we'll see how far that takes us. Once we see how far that takes us, if it goes pretty decently, then I would have him come in from this point here on this turn and have him hit this whole area through here. Okay, so I want to try to start connecting these pieces and you know, making this better. So we're going to take a look up here, and this area up here was the worst area that we had left. And so he cut the top of this down. If you saw the earlier video, that's what he was doing at that point in time, was cutting this down. He has now put all stone in this area and built this up with stone. And and we're going to go up to here, and we'll turn around and we'll take a look at this. Looks a whole lot better than it did. Okay, he put a little bit of stone right there. But we're going to turn around here, and you can see this whole stretch here that was wet, full of water, now has all the stone in there. So I see his truck up on top, and I think he's getting ready to start backing back down again. But anyway, so got this whole area here. Okay, he hit that spot as well. So now we will continue on. And you know, it may not look, guys, like a whole lot's been done, but believe me, it's areas that really needed the attention. And as we go up around the turn here, and you'll see more work done. This here was what we had done before, and you can see that this part of the road, pretty good shape. even when it's wet now, because of having the stone in here, we're not sinking in the mud. We're able to stay. Yep, here he's coming in here. So me and Hell are going to get out of the way. And so he's coming down with the next load. And so give me a moment here, because we will definitely be stepping aside. And then I'll show you the other work that he did over on this other side. Alright. Hella, come here, girl. Here, sit. Sit. Good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. I know, you're fine. Right here, stay here. And you can see the truck with all the gravel in the back. Hey, over here. Sit. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Nope, stay there. Stay. We'll let him get by. You're a good girl. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Stay. Good girl. Stay. Sit. So there you see all the gravel in there. All right, so we're gonna, and you can tell the road is really dry in places. It was still, and we had that rain on Friday. Now the creek is still doing this here. What he did up here, and I think I did show you part of this before, he put a load of gravel right here to make it easier when you're coming through. And he also built up this area. This area was pretty bad, so he put a bunch of stone in that area. He put some of it up in here as well. So that part of the road is now in much, much better shape. So working up through here, he was hitting spots, as you can see here with the gravel. Okay. And we will continue up this. All right, we're 12 minutes into this video. Not too bad. Not too bad. And again, this side over on here was where a lot of the erosion was. And so you can see he was hitting this side pretty good here and getting stone in there, so it's easier. Because otherwise, I'll tell you, it was quite the bumpy ride. And we're going to stop here a second, and we're going to turn around so you can see it from this angle. And you can see him hitting here and around that turn, focusing on this side because that's where the worst ruts were. And then up here, and with this here, he was just basically getting a scoop with a bobcat and putting it into these different spots. And you can see all through here, all on this side here. He had scraped this. You can see this rock sticking up. I actually, on that rock, I had bottomed out one time because the ruts were so deep, and so that was not a good thing. So stone went into that area at that point. But he's hitting, hitting spots here, as you can see. And so this is definitely going to be a lot easier getting in and out. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? What we're going to need to do at some point, basically where the gravel stops there, is have Danny come in, start right there, and just run a load in the tracks down as far as he can get it to go. Again, we're trying to get things as good as we can for right now, what we have to work with. And so, again, it's just, it is a process, not an easy process, but, we're getting there. And So I'm going to keep heading up here. But you can see all the new gravel in this area as well. So again, I'm going to stop really quickly and just kind of show you. You can see on both sides of the road through here where the gravel has been taken care of. So now we're going to take a walk up on top and we're going to see what we have. I'm not thinking there's going to be a whole lot left because he had another whole truck full of there. And really, really happy to get this gravel in the road to make the road that much better. You know, I'm going to go ahead, Mark, and I know you're going to be watching this video, and say, even without Danny coming and bringing us in 2 more loads of gravel, I think it's safe to say that you would definitely be able to get your car in here now. Because I know you wanted to bring the car down. And so, all right. So we're going to look at this. And the gravel was here all the way to the end. And so, not a whole lot of gravel left. Not a whole lot of gravel left. Some crush and run through here. You can see some stone there. And then this little bit here. So really, it's done a great job. I mean, the amount of stone that we had here and him being able, I mean, he'll get the rest of this in here as well. But really, really happy. Come on, girl. All right, so anyway, guys, so that's where we're at. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, it is extremely long, and I do apologize for that. But I kind of wanted to walk it, show you what we got done. It's been a lot of work today, and so I think the guy, you know, with the Bobcat, I think he's done a fantastic job. And, you know, it's definitely going to make our lives that much easier. And that's the goal, right? Make it easier getting in and out of here. Like I said, obviously this has been a major project. Even like the stone here, all right? Just even looking up through that area, this was an absolute nightmare. And with Danny being able to back in to the point that he did down here, was just a huge thing for us, because trying to get in out of here had gotten really, really dicey. And, you know, I don't want to tear my truck up. I'd like to have it, you know, for the next 10 years or so more. And so, you know, it's important to get this more squared away so it's easier getting in and out of here. And today's work has definitely put us in a lot closer place to have that situation where we want it. And so really happy about that. And, you know, we're just going to continue to, you know, do what we can. And, you know, at some point this year, we'll be able to say, hey, we got this done. We still have to have the pipe done down here on the turn. And, you know, getting that and doing that part of it. And so, you know, again, it's just baby steps. As long as you're making that forward progress, folks, remember we talked about that a lot of times. As long as you're making that forward progress, that's a good thing. That's why I was so excited about today of having him come in here and, you know, doing what he's done so far. He's already got about 6 hours on the clock right now. You know, I think it ended up being a lot more work than he anticipated, which is okay. You know, that's okay with me too. I mean, I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. So, oh, excuse me. But again, this is where we're at. This is getting very long-winded, so I am going to jump off of here for now. Folks, remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step thing in day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right, I hope you all have a great day. Please be safe. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.